Well, it's not officially a day of mourning in Israel, but people have been coming together to hold memorial services for the victims of the Hamas attack to mark the 1-month anniversary. Israelis also held a minute of standing silence, which took place without a siren, unlike on Holocaust Remembrance Day and Memorial Day. In Parliament too, some committees also paused their sessions to mark the occasion with a moment of silence. Well, as the war rages on, it's been an agonising wait for the families of more than 240 people who are still being held hostage by Hamas. The Israeli Prime Minister has again vowed there will be no ceasefire in Gaza until all of those people are freed. Well, for more, we're joined now by a member of one of those families who are desperately awaiting news. 4 members of Dani Engel's family are being held captive after being captured by Hamas on the morning of October 7th. Thank you so much for being with us on the programme, Dani. It's obviously a very difficult time for you. Take us back, if you can, to that morning. What exactly happened to your brother and his family, and how did you learn of their fate?
My brother and his family they are living in the kibbutz Nir Oz, that is a very peaceful kibbutz, very like a small village. And on that Saturday morning, like when we start hearing the alarms, and we usually on the WhatsApp, I called my brother, I wrote to him, is everything is okay? And he replied that they are in the safe room. That was in like something like 7 in the morning. An hour later, when I started seeing on television that Hamas terrorists, murderers are going into Israel, so I tried again to write him, but he didn't reply. So I wrote his wife, and she says that she replied on WhatsApp that they are in the safe room, and practically that's the last thing that I heard from them. What I know later that a friend talked with him something like 9 o'clock in the morning, and his wife, Karina, my brother's wife, told him that Ronen was with a weapon, and he went outside, and she said that she thinks that they are coming into the house, and the line went down, and that's the last thing that we know of them. And the other thing that by the Israeli government, they told us they are kidnapped and they are in Gaza. That's what we know. They're more than a month that we don't know nothing. Yuval, that is 11 years old. Mika is 18 years old. I can't understand what can happen. What makes somebody come into somebody's house and take them to captivity? Small children? I think that the world has to know that we are dealing with murderers, that now it's Israel, next it's Europe. I don't think that people, I know that I can't understand how they get into, how can anybody can do something like this? I can understand war, so soldier against soldiers, but to come into a house to take a small children, what is this? I can't understand. I'm very worried to my family. I understand that now there's a war, it's a war, but I hope that somebody in the world will start understanding what we are dealing with and help us and put all the pressure that we can to bring them back home, because I don't know what else to say.
And Dani, what kind of support, you've said that the military has been in contact with you, what kind of support have you been receiving from the government, if any?
Whatever can be. Look, we don't need a lot of help, just information that nobody can give us, because the Hamas don't, it's not a human, you are talking about make a human, I don't know the word, to make a humanitarian things for the Hamas, but then they don't do the minimum for us. So why should we do something that is you can call it humanitarian? Do we have people inside Gaza that we don't know if they're alive, they're okay, they are taken care of, but the world wants from us to bring into us water and food and medicine? Why should we? Why should we do this? If somebody can tell me, why should we now not eliminate Gaza? Why? What they are doing for us? They took children, 3 years, 9-month-old babies, and took them into Gaza, and we're supposed to be humanitarian.
It's also a difficult situation for civilians in Gaza, Dani.
You have to remember another thing.
Are you in touch with other families? Are you receiving support from the government yourself, your family?
I'm getting the support that I need, and we are all the families we're united, and we are trying to get information, but it's not in our hands really, because we can always talk on the media, and we want to. First of all, we want our families back. First of all, no discussion, no nothing. If they don't bring them back, nothing. Only war, only bombs, and only soldiers that going into Gaza and searching room and house by house and killing everybody until we'll find our family. They came into their houses. They went house by house. I just an hour ago, I received photographs of my family's house. They stood outside the window and they shut the windows down. And my family was in the house. You can imagine that? Somebody can imagine that they will come into his house and do things like this?
Dani, can I just ask, are you concerned about how your family will be doing, the fact that this aerial bombardment is continuing in Gaza? Are you concerned for their safety, just in terms of in how the Israeli government is responding to this crisis?
I think that the Hamas murderers and killers understand that if they want to see another day, they have to protect the captives with all that they can. So I think that the Hamas took all our families and put them in the bunkers that they had a long time to build, because Israel is a very humanitarian country, and let them for a lot of years to build their underground houses. So I think that they are safe. What member of our families that got into Gaza and they didn't kill them or murder them on the way? When they got to Gaza, they must have put them in a safe place where they are living, so they will keep safe. So the Israelis doing the right thing. We have to bomb Gaza until all the Hamas murderers will come out of the holes like rats, and with a white flag. And if not, they will kill one by one. That's what my country should do. And after they kill them, I think that they'll find all our hostages alive and safe down underground. The Hamas is now living. That's it.
Dani, thank you so much for your time on the programme. We wish you and your family the very best, and we do hope that you receive news from your brother and his family very soon. Thank you so much for your time on the programme. That's Dani Engel, who is awaiting news of his brother, his brother's wife and their 2 children.